AITA for dyeing my hair orange and not caring about the feelings of a classmate. So I'll just get right into it and will try to make it as concise as possible. Writing this during my spare period in school, and I live in Canada, so no turkey day for me today. I, 16 meters, dyed my hair orange yesterday. My sister is in school for cosmetology and she wanted to try dyeing my hair and offered me $20, so I said sure, and she dyed my hair a bright orange, looking straight up like Ichigo from Bleach, being an Asian dude with bright orange hair. Personally I like it looks nice, and my sister did a pretty good job and she's pretty proud of herself too, so that's a bonus in my mind. She has had self-esteem issues in the past. So today I go to school, I get compliments on my hair and I was just kinda glowing. When I was at my locker, a classmate who is ginger approached me and said it wasn't cool that I dyed my hair orange, and that I was mocking him. So I turned and asked what the heck he was talking about. Mocking him? I barely talked to this dude before. We had like one class together in 9th grade. He goes on to say that he gets bullied for being a ginger and that me dyeing my hair orange was an attack on him since I wouldn't be bullied for having orange hair. So, I started laughing and said it was ridiculous that he thinks I'm attacking him for having my hair dyed orange. How does that even make any sense? Like, if I knew someone was being bullied for having orange hair, why would I then decide to dye my own hair orange? He kinda just went quiet and walked away, leaving me pretty confused. My girlfriend says I shouldn't have laughed at him, and I told her I wasn't laughing at him, just laughing at the fact that he thinks I'm attacking him. AITA will try to respond to any questions, but my next class is about to start. NTA, you can't cater to everyone in the world, and it sucks he's getting bullied for having orange hair. Kids sure can be mean, but it's not an attack on him when you decided to dye your hair orange. Maybe reach out and apologize for laughing, but don't apologize for dyeing your hair orange. Nothing to apologize in regards to that. And if you like your new hair color, rock on and enjoy your cool new look. I did initially say sorry, but I think that's just a Canadian thing, like I say sorry when I get bumped into. But yes, I mentioned this in another comment, but yay, I think I should at least apologize for laughing. After some time reflecting, I'm feeling kinda bad about that. NTA, dye your hair whatever color you like. Sounds like he's at a stage where he's feeling isolated, which seems to be the case since he's been bullied, and likely has the same negative conversation in his inner dialogue. If you're feeling like being friendly, maybe try chatting with him, or at least telling him why you changed your hair and let him know that not everyone is out to get him. You might be doing him a favor by giving him a reality check. World does not revolve around any of us. I do plan on finding him tomorrow to apologize for laughing. Although it was more of a laugh since I didn't see the connection between my new hair color to being a direct attack on him, but I'm feeling remorseful for laughing right after he told me he has gotten bullied. Totally NTA. Lack of info on your part does not make you an attacker/bully. Even if he knew that other kid was being bullied for being ginger, I'm not really sure why that should keep him from getting his hair dyed orange. NTA, I'm ginger, and have been bullied for it. There is no reason whatsoever to be annoyed at someone for dyeing their hair orange, especially because no one would think you naturally have bright orange hair. It's just not related to being a natural redhead. AITA for kicking my sister out on Thanksgiving. I read it. I am currently writing this both as a way to vent my frustration and to get a general consensus. My son, 16, was recently diagnosed with an eating disorder. It was something that had been going on for months, but no one picked up on it. Since being diagnosed, he has not left the house except to go to emergency doctor appointments or for some fresh air. Because of his currently fragile state, he has to be watched a lot, have his meals weighed and measured by his newly referred dietitian, and he is not allowed to exercise, which is killing him, as that was his favorite thing to do. Before COVID, he used to go for runs in his high school gym with his friends, and the fact that he can't now is very upsetting to him. Since his diagnosis, we have had to be very careful about what we as a family say and do. Obviously, with Thanksgiving coming up, we knew it would be extra hard for him. For dinners every year, we would make a big deal about the food and family and friends, but with COVID we limited it to our family, me, my husband and my son, my parents and my sister who lives by herself. My sister is very socially conscious and decided to become vegan during quarantine. She openly talks about how much better she feels about it and basically talks bad about what other people eat if it's not vegan. With the diagnosis and my son's consent, we told our family what was happening and made it very clear not to talk about food in any context, including veganism. Everyone was super supportive, and my sister asked if she found still bring her own vegan food. I said yes, provided she doesn't make a big deal about it being vegan and her own lifestyle choices. Cut to today. Everything was going well until dinner. I brought my son his food and we had a happy dinner until my sister brought up how her tofu was better than the turkey my son was eating. We all gave her sharp eyes, and she then went on to say that there was nothing wrong with eating turkey but tofu would make her feel less tired and stuffed after. Although my son tried to put on a brave face, he ended up running to his room and having a panic attack. I was so upset with my sister that right after dinner I told her to leave. She didn't respect my wishes or her nephew's needs, and for that she wasn't welcome. I packed up her stuff and told her to go, and we spent the rest of the night with lots of tension. My father claimed I was harsh and my mother didn't say anything, but my husband agrees with my action. AITA here? NTA. Your sister sounds obnoxious and inconsiderate. She just feels very proud of her decision, and I was really hoping for one night she could put aside her views. I'm just upset that it came to this. NTA, you are dealing with your child's serious medical issue. Gave clear boundaries to your sister. She chose to ignore them. She's an adult responsible for her actions. NTA at all. Thank you for sticking up for your son. I am so sorry this is happening to him. You did the right thing 100% by kicking her out. You set terms, she didn't obey them, and in result your son paid for it. Eating disorders are deadly, and she made him feel insecure about his eating habits at the beginning of his recovery. That is not okay at all. It's been very recent and even the idea of a holiday around food was hard for him. But he's been and has been handling it very well considering everything going on. He made it through the day and that's what really matters. NTA. She had one job. AITA, for arguing with my fiancé after she read my late fiancé's diary. My M34 late fiancé passed away from brain tumor 3 years ago. I had known her most of my life. We grew up together and were engaged for 2 years. We wanted to get married sooner, but she got sick and never recovered after that despite doing all we could to fight this god-awful disease. My late fiancé had a diary that I gifted her right after she was diagnosed. She was the type that did get very emotional and would have a difficulty expressing her feelings and opening up about her issues. She was very thankful I brought her the diary, and she told me I was the only one who really understood what she needed and how she felt. I'd see her spending a lot of time writing in her diary, whether at the hospital or at home. I never read it while she was alive, but she let me have it a week before she passed away. I had a hard time looking at it and I left it untouched for over a year after her death. That's when I started reading it. I brought it up in therapy and it helped me tremendously. I don't have much of her stuff, but I still have her diary with me. I'm now engaged to my fiancé, who I met via a mutual friend, and she was wonderful when I met her. My current fiancé and I are open to each other. We talk about what bothers us all the time, but at the same time there are things that I'd rather not share nor talk about. I'm getting better at communicating, but I'm taking my time. My current fiancé knows about my late fiancé's diary, despite her asking to see it, and I have no idea why she'd want that, but I made it clear that I have no intentions on sharing what's in it with her. It's not like it's a secret, but I know my late fiancé would want me to keep it that way. My fiancé kept bringing it up, knowing how uncomfortable that made me feel. And yesterday I got home and found out that she took the diary and read it. I was absolutely pissed. She didn't even deny it. Even tried to argue with me about why I was lashing out at her. Even though she disrespected my boundaries. She even refused to acknowledge that couples should have personal boundaries. I yelled at her for being so inconsiderate and for touching the diary in the first place. She got upset that I reacted like this and refused to talk to me for hours. this. She's currently staying at her friend's house saying that I was being harsh on her. NTA. For her to not respect your boundaries by putting her own need to read something private above your wishes to keep it private, in my opinion, should be an engagement deal breaker. What other boundaries will she dance across, since clearly your needs and wants don't matter to her? In addition to that, she's blaming you for being harsh with her. That means she is taking no blame in this at all. That's deflection. Good luck with whatever you decide to do, but know that should you stay with her, this is just the beginning of her disrespect. Yeah, she refuses to acknowledge that what she did was wrong. I feel awful, and I don't think she'll even apologize for what she did. NTA, she can stay there. WTF did she think to glean from this? Honestly, it's such a breach of trust and boundaries that I don't think you can come back from that. I had no idea why she wanted to look at it so badly even after I already told her how I felt. Still, she did what she wanted to do eventually and thinks I'm the one at fault for how I reacted. I have no energy left to be dealing with this much stress and pressure. I'm just tired, and I wish she could see that what she did was wrong and unacceptable. NTA. She disrespected and violated your boundaries, and personally for me this would be near instant breakup worthy. Couples therapy is for couples who have trouble understanding each other. There's no gray area here. You said to not read the diary because it's personal, and she violated that very simple request. She's shown she's comfortable violating your comfort zone to make herself feel better. My husband has a diary and the engagement ring from his fiancée before me. She died of cancer. I have never asked to see it. He showed me the ring once, gorgeous, and it has remained in its box inside the keepsake box for our 14-year relationship. Around year 10 he asked if I wanted to read it and I said no. Cannot begin to imagine the mindless obsession, insecurity, on her part, and lies she has told herself and her friend to justify this.